Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. I got a news story for you, and it's from The Guardian. It's about the UK elections. They had yesterday, and the results are coming out today. And I was hoping that Jeremy Corbyn would win because he's similar to Bernie Sanders, where he was a real progressive. He was fighting for the people. He wanted to make sure that education wasn't getting cut in the UK. He wanted to make sure that they could create more jobs. He wanted to make the rail system, put that back into the public hands instead of the private hands. He had a lot of other progressive policies. I just didn't look it up, but I did watch a video that Jimmy Dore he did on it, and it was a really good video. You guys should check that one out. But he's just a really progressive guy. Of course, a lot of the corporate media over there, they slandered him and just did a whole bunch of just hit pieces about how they try to discredit him. Because when it comes down to it, that's all they have. When you're progressive, they can't attack you on your issues and say these issues that you're fighting for, these policies that you want, these are terrible for the people. They're gonna hurt people's wallets. They're gonna hurt people's protections. They can't do any criticism policy wise. So what they got to do is smear you and attack you and try to undermine you. So that's what's been happening to him. But even though he didn't win, and that's pretty disappointing, what does happen is that since their political system isn't a winner take all, where just whoever wins just gets the win, and it doesn't matter the ratio, their winning percentage. At least here, that's how ours is. Is theirs? It does matter by how much they win or they lose, because they have a parliament, and their ratio of winning to losing percentage for the votes determines how many seats they get. So I have the election results for the UK right here. And Theresa May and her Conservative Party, they won 318 seats so far, so they lost 12 seats. And Jeremy Corbyn and his Labour Party, they got 261 seats, so they won 31 seats. So that's pretty good that they already pick up a lot more seats and get more power in the government. What else is interesting is the UK has a lot of different parties. They have 4 other parties. Sorry, they don't have 4 other parties. They have what seems to be 16 plus political parties over there. So there's a lot of different choices for the people to go to whenever they're looking at politics. So of course, that makes their system a lot more democratic. Seems like it's a little more equitable because one or two parties can't just suppress all the other ones. Of course, it looks like a lot of people just gravitate towards the ones with more power, but you're not automatically locked into just picking a few parties between two parties. But what happens is that they have a hung parliament because to just win outright, a party has to secure 326 of the 650 seats in their House of Commons so they could just form their government. But the Conservative Party, Theresa May's party, they only won 318 seats. That's 8 short of that number. So the article explains what happens for the UK system, because what they have to do is Theresa May and her party, they have to try to form a coalition with another party so they could share some of the jobs, and then they can make a government. Or another way they could do is the smaller parties agree to support the main legislation but don't formally take a part in the government. So Theresa May, I saw the other article, it talked about how Theresa May is working with one of the other parties so her party could keep power and just form the government. So also Jeremy Corbyn, he called for Theresa May to step down because also these articles are talking about how even though Theresa May got more seats than Jeremy Corbyn, that she was expected to have a big lead, and after having a big lead and from them going from likely, or they were thinking they were going to even pick up even more power so they could, have more influence of the policies they were going to write, they lost quite a bit of power. And with the hung parliament, that really diminishes their objectives. So a lot of people are, Theresa May and a lot of people in her party are very disappointed. So it's just interesting to see the dynamics of the winners kind of disappointed even though they won, because of the situation of they can't just run the government and form it like they'd like to. And Corbyn, who wasn't able to get the win, he's still feeling pretty good. His party picked up a lot of seats. They're going to have more power. So also bodes well for the future, because especially if he runs again, because a lot of people can't just dismiss that, oh well, they're gonna have a good campaign, but that people aren't gonna come out and vote for them, and oh, that's too pie in the sky, it's unreasonable. They could keep telling you that bullshit, keep pushing it, but they already have the results. A lot of people came out. It gave them a pretty good showing up, and that party's a lot stronger right now because of it. So hopefully a similar situation happens in another nation, not just the United States, but other nations where a lot of people are suffering, and they say, you know what, we're going to start pushing for the progressive person that's actually wanting to fight to increase our pocketbooks and our rights and our healthcare system, make sure that we're taken care of, and make sure us and our children are getting educated like they need to be.